I wanted to get started asking about how you each maybe heard about the film and received the script, and what was your inspiration for you both in really becoming attached to work on the film overall.
Yeah, well, I came across the novel uh, 2 years, I think, a couple of years ago, and I thought that it was something in the story that intrigued me. I mean, how the whole gaslighting thing, and how men and women are treated in the society, and they're being judged. So that was very interesting for me, I mean, also it's triggering me. I think we all can um, relate to hearing sound from your neighbors, but in this case, it escalates because no one else hear the knockings, and so that was a really scary thought, that thinking that maybe you're crazy, you know, um, and how she's treated in the society, and the journey of a woman, emotional journey. Yeah.
Mhm. Then, Cecilia, I also wanted to ask you, as the lead actress in the film, how you became attached to starring it and what you really liked about your character as well.
Yeah, I first of all I read the novel, and already in the novel I was attracted by the fact that it's really in a woman's head. It's all her her approach and her perspective all the time, and her thoughts and her inner balance that is described, and then in the script this was even more out taken. Can you say it like that? Yes.
Mhm.
So, and that Frida and Emma had really found this new in a way woman who is going to start up her life again. So it's like a new try be to go on after a tragic incident, and so she's like in a way newborn, so everything is like very it's very coming to her, and in these knockings and this cry for help is reaching her, and she's going really determined to solve and help this woman out. So yeah, that was the inner world of a inner struggle.
Mhm.
Yeah. Mm.
And also, I wanted to ask you both, like you both mentioned, having the book as the source material and how having the book helped you both really relate to Molly's struggle throughout the film, and just what was it about having the book as well as the script that you really both enjoyed having while making it?
Well, the short novel is it's actually two main characters. It's Molly, the witness, and then there's the victim. So we have them both. So another. I was not interesting of showing the victim, because I think we're so used to that image of female victims and naked bodies in blood, and so that was not in my interest. I thought it was more interesting to just be with Molly, and I think we as an audience can also identify with that. And when do we interfere in other people's lives? That balance was interesting to me. And I don't know how it is in the US, but it's very typical in the Swedish culture that you're not supposed to interfere, and that could really risk a lot of people's lives because of that. Yeah, how you think, so I thought that was something that I wanted to add much more in the script.
Celia, I also wanted to ask you, as the actress, how having the book of the short story really helped you as well prepare for your role in the film as well.
Well, the book is in the book, Molly is like much older than me, so that's a difference. And but in a way, I still have the first, like the apartment, the sense of her, where she is in her life, in this loneliness, is really still from the book in a way. And but then this feeling of it was very much more in the script. It's like that you're the inner struggle where you don't know that where your own truth is like just slipping away, and it comes back and it slips away, and that was very much more in the script, and I love that part.
And Frida, I also wanted to ask you about directing the film in general, and I swear this was your first feature-length film that you directed, and what that experience was like for you, coming from directing short films and documentaries, and just your overall experience directing this film as well.
Yeah, I think this was really a piece for me. It was meant to be this film for me, for sure. I mean, I've been doing documentaries, as you said, and shorts before, but I was always lacking something as a documentary director, because you have to. I mean, it's real people, and it's real subjects. And in this movie, I had the freedom of doing whatever I wanted, and that was so creative, because I'm very into visuals and sound and what you can add to that, and that was like a playground for me, this film, for sure.
And speaking about the visuals, I also wanted to ask you in particular about creating the look of the apartment building and working with the production designer on the film, and what that experience was like for you both, really getting to film in the apartment building in general, and deciding how you wanted to look as well.
Yeah, we had this color system, and that would reflect Molly's emotional journey. So we started with the green. That was like the healthy start of the film, and in the end it was this dark red color. So I used that language to all the departments, in the costume, and the set designer, and the cinematographer, and of course Cecilia. So we use less words and more color talking. So is this a yellow scene, or is it no, it's green, and then we knew, okay, let's put this camera like this and let's act like this. And so that was very helpful, because we only shot in 18 days, so it was a really short period of time, with not much money, so it helped, I think, for every department.
And I also wanted to ask about the casting for the rest of the actors in the film, and what that experience was bringing them on board the film as well.
Yeah, I call them the three musketeers, the men. It's a fourth as well, but I wanted to have a diverse cast. I want the cast to reflect on our society. So I saw the cast and the whole building as the society, and I know it comes to, I think, taste, but I really like acting. What do you say? Low key acting, not showing too much. And in this case, it was very important, because who owns the truth in this story? and I wanted to have that inner dialogue. I hope the audience have that inner dialogue. So like the old man Kai, he doesn't show anything. He's like stone face, and that was good for this film.
And I also wanted to ask you both about the getting to work with the rest of the cast and really building those relationships between Molly and her new neighbors, and what that experience was like for you both, and really maybe getting to rehearse with them, or just really building the character dynamics with the rest of the actors as well.
What do you say, Cecilia? You didn't meet so many supporting actors.
It was very nice to have neighbors. But yes, no, I think we like sorted out the differences between those characters, and that was fun to meet and confront with those that's those spectra of men. But yeah, from there was different approaches to so different tools to use for me, for Molly.
Yeah, I think because it was so intense, and we was shooting 18 days, and you were so alone acting, Cecilia. It really helped your mood when you met the other actors. It was like, oh, it's because you were so alone. And I mean, I don't know. It
like
helped.
now, like we have it now in real life. When you meet someone, you're like, no.
Yeah.
While I was watching the film, I was able to watch the movie a few days ago, and while I was watching it, I really liked the fact that there were moments when I wasn't sure if there really was knocking, or if it was just in Molly's head, or what was going on in the apartment complex overall. And was that something that you really both enjoyed, and really showcasing maybe there was somebody who needed her help, or what was that experience like for you both to really showcase that there might be someone in need of help, but it might just be in Molly's head, and just finding that balance between, how much it is just maybe in her head, or that there is really someone you need.
Yeah, I think as a director, I really like to play around that, and I really like that what you're saying, that you was doubting if she was crazy or not. That was important for me. I was hoping for that, but I think in Cecilia's case, she was always convinced that there was a woman there, and she had to save her. Right?
Yeah. But even in Molly's, if you have this determination to save someone, like that she needs to be saved, this person that calls for you, and at the same time you're going through this state of grief, of deep grief, like, of course, that was a very interesting to be, and we talked a lot about those places as in our life, where we have not been supported in how we experience in our experiences. So it's like it's the floor is how do you say it in English? It's floating. We say that in Swedish, that the floor is without, it's like water.
Floating or
floating. Oh, yeah. Slipping away your own truth.
Yeah, which is dangerous.
And also, I wanted to ask, as both the lead actress and director of the film, was there any particular research that you did, both did before you began filming, into mental illness, and how someone like Molly would really have to readjust to going back into the world after being in the hospital? And what was that experience like, besides reading the script and the book, to really better understand what she was going through overall?
Yeah, I think we both have our own experience about life and how to handle life, and sometimes you're more vulnerable, and that was something that we add to Molly's character. Um, and also Cecilia went to visit a psychiatric ward, and she met those workers there, and I think that really helped you, Cecilia, preparing.
Yeah, and it was a very. I still remember those two ladies, because it was like no, they were very open about. It's not like it's human beings who needs to be heard. Yeah, that's what it is, and that that needs the time to be heard.
Mm.
And that the life out there has been crazy for them, and they said to me, like, it's not in here that it's crazy, it's out there. So you just like someone, some people don't cope with it, so, and yeah.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask about after maybe doing that research, what the experience was like of showing Molly's physical side and how she would physically react to her situation, and what that experience for you, Cecilia, especially as an actress, to really show her physicality and just the physical experience for the film as well.
Hmm. Um, well, if I understand you right, you mean like if the physical, or
Yes,
yeah,
the physical side. Yeah.
yeah. Well, it's like uh, well, that is like it fits in with the inner, but it's and I experienced it was very fun too. We had a lot of. Nu får du säga Frida om jag inte har missuppfattat. I hope I understand your question. That we played a lot with like sometimes real technical and choreograph, how do you say it, choreography in
Yeah.
nej, vad heter det,
Choreography, yeah, you
yeah,
know.
you know and because sometimes it was just like we had the discussion in the morning, we went through the scenes and we talked a lot, and then you had all that stories in you, and then it was like, but this scene has to be very technical, so so and so we it was like two works, the inner and like and choreography from the outside, and that could be all from the eyes to the like this scene with the snorri cam, we have with this camera on me, it was like very technical experience, and also always in the inner life too, so
I
yeah.
think that might have helped that you are a dancer. So you
Yes,
knew that
I'm not.
technical part was like very like you was taking dance moves in a way, or I don't know. Maybe it helped.
Yeah, maybe. Yes, I'm not so much a dancer nowadays, but
You were.
but I have it in my bones.
Yes.
And then, Leslie, I wanted to ask you both about having the movie premiere now coming up in Sundance, and what that experience has been like of having the virtual screenings coming up through the festival, and just what you're looking forward to being part of the festival virtually this year as well.
Well, I mean, it's amazing that they have the festival, even though it's not in real life. It's wonderful that they can create this festival online, and what they're doing is fantastic. So, I mean, of course, it's an honor to be part of this that. And I mean, it's like your little baby, you know, heading for the US, and I'm not sure if he or she is ready, or he is, but or she is. But I mean, it's very, I mean, it's I can't lie, it's both. It's an amazing feeling, it's fantastic, but also I'm a bit afraid, you know, letting it go.
Okay, thank you both again for taking the time to speak with me. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
Thank
Take care.
Thank you, you too.